Everybody, how you doing? This is Bill.
And William.
And today we're at Marley Station Mall. This is located in Glen Burnie, Maryland. It is pretty much a dead mall. You've probably seen other videos before about Marley Station, but this mall is a little different for me because I've worked in this mall 5 times at 4 different places throughout the years that the mall's existed. So we're going to take a walk inside if you're ready.
Let's go.
And so we're inside. Now we're on the dead end of the mall. This is where Macy's used to be originally. And right around this area used to be like a hair cuttery there, a bank that way where it says more choices coming soon. For a while this was actually an arcade. It was a pretty good arcade too. And a couple jewelry stores up here on the ends.
So sad to see the mall like this.
It is, because this mall's been around since I think it was 86 when I started here. Actually, I worked at a place called American Vision Center. No longer here. And Macy's used to be that way. And a lot of the stores, unfortunately, I don't remember. I remember bits and pieces. This used to be Suncoast Video. And as I recall, back there in the corner used to be a place called The Wall. They sold CDs, you know, some rock posters, that sort of thing. And Suncoast and the Wall were both owned by the company that owns FYE. And this mall actually had an FYE in it at one point. It's no longer here.
I remember that.
For a while, this was a boxing place. You could take boxing lessons. And actually, if you look inside, there's still, I don't know if you can see it, there's still some weights and things in there. So I don't know if that's from the boxing place or something else is in there, but currently it's not open. So again, we're at the dead end of the mall.
So sad. There used to be all kinds of stuff back there.
Yeah, this used to be a thriving mall at one point. But I heard that it was never more than 85% occupied, even when it opened. So it got off to a little bit of a rough start. Around here, there used to be a tobacco store. No longer here. JCPenney there, that's been here, I think, since the mall opened. I believe JCPenney, and it was maybe Heck Company down the other end were the 2 original anchors. Well, of course, we had Macy's back there as well. A couple of stores that are still in existence here. New York and Company, which was Zorno's shop way back when. Long gone. Another shop was a store when I was a kid. It turned into New York and Company. Bath and Body Works. And there's a watch repair place here that's open still. Right here, there used to be Yankee Candle store. Go around this way. And actually, I guess while we're here back over that side, that was Victoria's Secret. I think long ago it used to be a bookstore between, I know it used to be a bookstore between where it says Carnage Gaming and Kicks, and then where they have this mural over there of the, looks like light rail. It used to be a bookstore.
Yes.
Long gone.
I heard about it.
And as we walked in earlier, because we did walk around a little bit before we started this, we noticed that there's a place here, it was called Wendy's Candies. It used to be on the lower level, almost directly below, I'm going to cross away from where this one is. And it's gone. It was open, or at least it was here the last time we came in here. But nothing in there. So they just closed down completely recently. So I'm going to come up here. There's a couple of stores here. There's a Beauty Trend and a place called Joey's. Now, Joey's has been here. Used to be down the dead end of the mall way back when. They're still here. And years ago, this used to be actually it used to be called the San Francisco Music Box Factory. They sold like just music boxes and clocks and that sort of thing. And it was a Seen on TV store.
Oh, yeah. I remember that too.
And right here, and William, you won't remember this, but it used to be a Coors Brothers frozen custard stand right here.
Yeah, I can tell. It used to be an opening or something there.
Yeah, we used to have frozen custard. And Forge Brothers is pretty decent if you ever get a chance to try it. Really good stuff.
I forgot about that.
And then over here we have Casual Gear, which has been here for a good while. A couple stores here. Used to be a jewelry store. Don't remember what this used to be. You used to have a barber shop here. And of course, Gold Gym on this side, which is looks like 2 floors and been here for a good while. It takes up a good part of the mall down this end. I guess practically this whole area all the way down and around. And Macy's, straight ahead, it used to be Heck Company. Macy's company bought out Heck Company, and they moved from the other end where they had that cool painting mural on the wall in the dead part. They moved over to this part.
And it even has a 3rd floor.
Yes, it does. And down this way, and this used to actually over here be a Ritz camera. And I will go back over because this was a Ritz camera here. This was a jewelry store way back, and I don't remember the name. But if you go right around the corner here where that door is, it used to be Mrs. Field's Cookies.
Oh, yeah.
That I remember because I guess I remember the snack places because I used to eat at them all the time. I don't really remember the some of the other stores. They do have a holiday train garden here, and we're going to take video of that, but they're not open today. We're at the 10th, and you see the times and dates, everything here. They're mostly open on weekends. So we're going to come back and get a video of that as soon as we can get in here. But again, it's down that way. We have this braiding center here that's still open. And we're going to go downstairs and check out what's downstairs. Or coming down to the bottom of the escalator is Marley Tailoring and the Bounce Party Arcade. And you actually have the Bounce Party here that occupies a good amount of this part of the mall on this level. As they're here, this used to actually be a massage place long gone. Oh. And actually, they don't, I guess they lost part of the bounce parties. It used to be in here also. And if you look in there, get up here where we're out of the way, you can actually see some drawings. You know, this is where they had some of the bounce houses and stuff. But it looks like they got rid of this part. They you know, don't occupy this part of the mall anymore. And now, last time we were in here, they actually had that in here still. Marley Nail and Spa. Now here's where we get into some fun because this store over here to the right, I'm actually walking through, by the way, used to be Piercing Pagoda, used to be right in the center where I walk. That's gone. This used to be Radio Shack. Let's see. I actually worked in this store. This is one of the 4 that I worked in for a couple years. After it was Radio Shack, the bookstore in here took over for a bit, and they moved to another part of the mall. Right across the way here used to be Spencer Gifts over there. And I don't think anything's in there still. Yeah, it's completely got it. Some, I guess, like, I don't know, one on the floor, it's ceiling tiles or something.
Looks like it.
Came crashing down. And these stores, don't remember. I know one of these was electronic repair labs there. So one of these was Things Remembered. It was this one. Because they always had their little displays in there. This for a while, this was a couple different things. The last thing it was a coffee store. And a coffee shop. They had coffee and tea. And this was Hot Topic here. One of the most current casualties of the mall. That was a pretty cool store. They still have Bay Jewelers over there. Sears used to be upper level over that side. They had an Annie Ann's this way. That's a Marley convenience store. But Annie Ann's, I think, is completely out of here now. This was a phone store. I want to say it was T-Mobile. And there's a couple stores over this side. I can't remember what they are. I mean, it's been so long. And there've been so many different things. And right over here used to be GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see in there with a little opening, but you can't see enough in there. But And I'm catching like a really bad reflection in the back. All right, you remember Wendy's Candies? It used to be like right in this area. I think it was over there for a while. They moved upstairs and they didn't do anything upstairs, I guess, either. A couple other stores up here. All right, we're coming up towards the actual front entrance of the mall. This way back used to be Cartoon Cuts. William used to get his hair cut here, and you're small.
Mm-hmm.
And these have like little monitors. You can watch cartoons while you got your hair cut.
And movies.
Yeah, movies too.
Yeah.
And this here was another jewelry store.
Wow, there's
It's just now empty.
You can see where the counter used to be too. The counters.
It says right there, Golden Diamond Jewelers. It was something before that. It wasn't like Edward Arthur's, but it was a big name. Might have been Keepsake, maybe.
Something.
Yep. All right, so here's another place that I worked. It used to be FYE, and I worked in this one. I worked for FYE for a couple of years. I think I was only about a year or so into this one before it kind of started going downhill. I found another job. And again, the bookstore that had Radio Shack also occupied this space for a while, but now they moved into this giant space. It used to be a clothing store, and they moved into this much larger space, and they're still here. So they occupied the Radio Shack space for a while, the FYE space for a while, and moved right over here. So you have Finish Line here. They're still here. And I don't remember this store, but right now it's a gingerbread festival. This was a store, last store it was Lens Crafters. It was a store before that. Lens Crafters has moved actually up the street about a mile or so up the road. And they have their own shopping center space now in that building. A couple more that I don't remember what this was either, but it was a clothing store of some sort. And you do have a couple of these things in the middle of the mall. And you have them here. The last thing this was a hairstylist place. And you see some of the chairs and everything are still there. All right, so this used to be a perfume store, which what it was last anyhow. And this was a card shop here. And you go right around the corner here, you have China Bowl. This was the first place I worked in the mall. It used to be called American Vision Center. And you see it's not very deep this way. It used to be a little deeper because the card shop actually got a little bit more of the room here. So I'm estimating it right about here is where American Vision Center ended. It went this far back. And when American Vision Center went out and became China Bowl, they redid the walls and expanded the card shop out a little bit. Right across the way used to be a place called Vita France. It was a little cafe-style place that sold like croissants and tea and coffee. And Rita's has been here pretty much ever since Vita France, because Vita France took up this whole area here. I think even down to the refreshment center there. Capo's has been here, not by that name, but it's always been a place that repairs shoes and that sort of thing. They actually are supposed to be getting a new restaurant here called Thelma's Kitchen. We'll see how that goes. And right over here where the shirts are, that used to be the back end of the card shop that was around the front there. Now we come to the first place I worked and the second place I worked. There's two different points in time. It's a movie theater. Way back when, this was United Artists Theaters. It's now owned by a different company, but it's still here. And right there next to that silver pole, they had a big ticket box office. So it had two machines. It was large up to the ceiling. You can actually see, if you can see it there, the fire sprinklers hanging down. It used to be inside of the box office. They took it down because now you get your tickets inside, right on the counter there. So they just moved the ticket booth away to the inside. You have a kitchen place here. Way back when this used to be, I think this was Taco Bell.
Or Subway, I can't remember which one.
No, Subway was right here.
Oh, it was on the end.
Yeah, Subway was in this one. And actually you can still see part of the sign if you look, part of the lettering up there where it says Subway. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see if you get the right angle. I guess it just burned into the wood there.
So this is Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. And this here, last year was Chick-fil-A, but when the mall first opened, I want to go back and I want to say it was McDonald's at one point, Burger King at one point, Roy Rogers at one point. A lot of restaurants occupied that. Here's the other side of Annie Ann's, which also is closed down. So I think you had a little corridor back there that you get from one to the other when they made the pretzels and whatever. This was all kinds of things. The last thing it was an ice cream place. And long gone again. Now here's a Japanese grill, which is closed. So we're closed every Tuesday, all right. I was thinking that maybe they went out, but it looks like they're still here. They're just closed today.
Every Tuesday they're closed.
Exactly. So here we have what used to be Rocky Run.
Oh man.
This was a good restaurant. And their crab cakes were really good. But went out a long ways back. And right across the way, this used to be Ruby Tuesdays, but now there's a place called Beefalo Bob's, and they do catering, so they basically prepare everything in there, and they take it out, I suppose, to, like for example, they had New Year's Eve party that you can pick up, get catering for, so they kind of just do catering. I wonder if I'm not going to do that. I wonder if I put this up in the window, if I could see something inside, but might be somebody in there that gets angry if I do it. Sbarro, this has been here since the mall opened. Again, I know all the food places. I just don't know all the other stores, because so many stores have been occupied in so many places. So for a while, they had this relaxation station, which was just basically had tables in it. So when you got your food from either Chick-fil-A or Japanese grill here, you could go in there and eat. They blocked it up, and they have a claw machine and this amazing road trip game. And now they have tables actually out in the mall. I'm going to continue on here. All right, so lower level, here's JCPenney from the lower. And of course, up there, 2 floors. And they have this Metro by T-Mobile store. And this has been here for a little while, too. I think this was AT&T, though, at one point. And they had like 2 AT&T stores in this mall. And at one point, though, I think they had 2 GameStops in here as well. It's a place called Heads Up. It actually looks like it has, I don't know if this is like, if they're closed, going to open, like it's a new store. It used to be Lids. It was a hat store. But it looks like they have some boxes in there, like maybe they're getting some stuff in, like they're going to open up with a new store. And I don't think they had that sign up there before, the Heads Up sign, so maybe it's a new store. And over here is where they had it for a while they had a GameStop in here. This was something before GameStop. They had 2 stores. Yeah, they had 2 stores in here, and this one went out, and then not long after the other one went out. We're down to the dead part of the mall again. For a while, I think it was this one here was called a store called Dollar Ocean. Just kind of like a dollar store.
No, it was down there with the red stripes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I'm not sure exactly what this was then. I don't remember what that was. And you see a dealer school there. There's a casino a couple miles from here. It's Maryland Live Casino. I go there all the time and lose. But anyhow, they had dealer school when they were opening, when they got their tables, because they started out with just slot machines. When they got their table games, they had to have some place to teach the people how to deal cards for blackjack and, baccarat and that sort of thing. So they had the dealer school here. So they rent out part of it for dealer school. This is the Dollar Ocean here. And I don't know why I didn't remember that, because I used to come in here every so often. More dealer school this way. This used to be a shoe store for a while. Champs. Okay, I can see it right in there. I don't know if you can see that, but right up there it says Champs. And now they have a bunch of arcade games in here. And I always tell William, right there they have a Gallic and a Centipede. I'd love to have both of those. But yeah, then you got William's favorite game over here, Colorama. They actually have one in the arcade though that works.
Yes, you do.
Maybe we'll show that on the way through. We'll stop in the arcade. They have just some old games in here, ticket games, arcade games, and this is all from the arcade on the other end of the mall, the Bounce Party arcade. And just extra stuff they have, and they rent the space to store it. Now, some of you, especially people that are older like me, might recognize the name of this place. This was called Turks. They had one in the mall up the street, the Herondale Mall. It's long gone. It's a shopping center. They moved from there to here, and unfortunately, they went out. They used to sell a lot of, like, I want to say, for lack of a better way to put it, knickknacks. A lot of things that you know, for your home that wasn't like furniture and whatever. It was stuff you put on your shelves for decoration and that sort of deal. And there's me. And there's William. But yeah, Turks, if you're older, you might recognize that store. If you're younger, you're probably not going to recognize the name. For a while, there was a photo place here. It wasn't Ritz. What was the name of it? It was called, I can't remember. All I remember is they had a big fake camera in the front. And basically, I think it's more for children's pictures. And that's long gone as well. This was the original location for Lens Crafters. Then they moved down to the center part of the mall, then moved down to a shopping center. And again, you see the Live there. That was the Maryland Live Casino. Actually rented this space as well for their dealer school. All right, so we walk back down to get to the arcade. It's over there. And if you look in here, this is the other part of the Bounce Party. Now, the one section was closed off, nothing in it. And this here, there's no bounce places and nothing to bounce on in here. It's just basically old arcade games. We took all the bouncy things out. And the arcade part is right over here. It's gameplay, Marley Bounce Party. But I'm thinking that maybe we're going to turn that into part of the arcade. Maybe they'll double it up. Who knows? And you notice in here there's a lot of ticket games and that sort of thing. Or a couple, I guess, regular arcade games. But nothing like the Centipede and the Galaga we saw over in the other one. That one day I'm going to buy those. Now, your mother would disagree with that, but you know, here's William's game. Colorado is the one that actually works, as opposed to the one that was in the storage room back there. It's got to be, I guess, broken down and there's not enough room for it. This is an old game, though. I mean, I used to play this way back when I was a lot younger. And William, this is one of your favorites, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it.
Red.
Ticket for red.
There you go. Tickets for red. It's just a little bit more of the arcade back here. Let's get ready to head out here of the arcade. Oh, that's a wild looking game. Ticket track.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So let's go head back out of the mall here. All right, we decided to walk back towards the Sears here. We're on the upper level. You see out there. And the reason we're coming back here, I always joke with William that if I had a lot of money, I'd buy at least his upper part, rent it or lease it or buy it or whatever. I believe the anchor stores are actually owned, they're not leased. But it's really big in there. And I told him for Halloween time, this would make a fantastically great haunt. I mean, it goes way back in there. So you just have like the tools and whatever back there. It's not coming in very clear, but it's back there. And a lot of the haunts we've been around this area are actually in malls. They take dead malls and they rent the stores or a store and they just turn into a haunt. There it is, Marley Station Mall. Once really a great mall, had a lot of stores, a lot of business. You know, it's gone downhill for many years now. Again, I worked in there 5 times in 4 different places, and this mall just holds a lot of memories for me, as it does for a lot of people. We hope you enjoyed our video today. If you did, please like and subscribe. We appreciate you watching as normal. Until next time, we'll see you.